Yeah. Yeah. So thanks again for accepting my invitation, Björn.
Oh, thank you.
Just a
I'm
few words
happy to
about
have this chat with you.
Yeah, we will just chat. We will just have a good time. I know Björn probably since 2016. He's also practicing in Lotus Nei Gong, School of Lotus Nei Gong, and by his own right, I think he's also a teacher. Finished QGC, which is a Qigong Certificate program, 2.5 year long. Was it 2.5 year long for you?
No, that was not, no way, like
Three?
QGC was maybe 7 years ago I finished, something like
Three?
that.
So was it 3 years long, the QGC?
The QGC must have been way longer ago.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean the duration of the program is
Oh yeah. The duration of the QGC was, I think 3 years, yeah.
3 years. Yeah, approximately 3 years. That's what I heard. So there was like two cohorts, I think, and also the Swedish. So two main.
Yeah, there was one in London as well, right?
Yeah.
The last one.
Yeah. But also before that, I guess there was one in England.
Perhaps, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
those people know better. But you've been in the Swedish
Yeah.
group, which
It wasn't a very Swedish group though. There was, I don't know, most people weren't Swedish in that group, but we
yeah,
were doing it in
but a
Sweden.
few Swedish people as well, no?
Yeah, there were a few, yeah.
I remember them from my very first course and retreat. Actually, was the Swedish retreat. So just thrown in,
Yeah.
and actually that's when all the guys joined. I think maybe it was 17 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so you finished that at 2017, yeah, or something like that. Started at 2014.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that sounds about right.
And then just in a nutshell, and then we will open this up. You also finished the Chinese medicine course, the second cohort, and you just received your diploma last year.
Yes, from Xian Tian College. Yeah, that was my second diploma.
And it's like a bumpy road because you started at the COVID time, so everything was mixed up: online teaching, personal teaching.
Yep. It was, I mean, in a ways, it extended our theoretical training, so that was good. And we had to cram the practical in the end. So, but it worked out very good, I think.
Yeah, I think somehow it turns out to be good that you have the lectures online, so it doesn't eat up your time in a practical. Was it the same? Because with us, it's like we have all the theories and then only practice, just practice time.
Yeah, and that's the way to go, I think. We don't need to have too much in-person theory.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of time. Good.
Yeah, it does.
And also still introducing Björn that he studied everything 2002 and or 3 with the Zen Buddhist practice. How did you
Yeah,
come across?
2002
How did you get involved? What
with
was
the zazen and the
Yeah.
sitting. Um, well, I came from a really fluffy new age. Uh, like that's my starting point, my really fluffy starting point. Everything is imaginary and yeah, you know. Uh,
Because actually you've been looking for something. That's why you've been looking for different
yeah, for a long
directions.
time.
Because looking for solutions for something, or it's just a spiritual call.
Just curiosity, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity has been the main driving force, and also, um, yeah, no, actually, mostly curiosity.
Mm.
And then I uh, had an experience in my late teens, which kind of confirms things I had been reading about Zen Buddhism, which made me really interested in that path.
But that's what led you toward.
Yeah. So I did after that initial experience. I did a retreat, my first retreat, close to where I lived. There is a Zen Buddhist monastery, I guess, a full-time practice school or monastery.
Or center, yeah.
Yeah, so I was there for a few days. That was kind of my starting point, and then from there I just practiced at home, and for many years did solo retreats and group retreats in that spirit, in the Zen spirit. Though I've never had a formal teacher. I've never been in any formal lineage or tradition.
Like you didn't have a sensei or a master who is like having interviews with or
No,
receiving
I mean,
instruction?
yeah, yes and no,
Yes or no?
not. But my first teacher in meditation or zazen, he wasn't a traditional Zen Buddhist
I see.
either. So it was, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know,
I guess more
freestyle.
about the methods. So your practice was more about focused on the method and just
Yeah, and
practice.
I've been reading a lot like Zen Buddhist literature and stuff
Yeah.
by myself and trying to figure it out, which
Which means,
is not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend anyone to try to figure out the nature of self and mind by themselves.
yeah, by books and everything. I see.
No, I
Because
mean,
you need supervision in a way, right?
absolutely, and
Instructions on where to go, where not to go.
mhm. It's easy to get caught in details and wrong details, and
Oh,
yeah,
I
but
see. And then you spent like 10 years with it, like exploring. And then how did you came across oh yeah, because you studied medicine also at the same time. Like your first acupuncture studies studied in 2002 and then
2011.
2011.
2003, I studied like Western herbs and auricular acupuncture and stuff. So, and I practiced a lot of acupuncture, like auricular acupuncture, but it
Yeah.
was all on a amateur level,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but that's still
friends
that's
and
still
family.
solid because you can I can see how it formulates like you started with the meditation to understand yourself and then open it up to herbs and then open up to everyone probably starts with the ear acupuncture and then you had another diploma at was that
Yes, I started my first diploma in
great?
like proper Chinese medicine in 2011
Yeah,
and graduated there 2014.
which meant that you could already needle people, you could already diagnose,
Yeah,
you can
I
already
mean,
treat
in theory,
in
but
theory.
I think graduating from Chinese medicine,
Is one
I
thing.
mean, graduating from Xian Tian, yes, I would say you can go ahead and needle, but my first school was quite bad, I would say, actually.
In this regard, I guess, like the practical regard.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, but it's much easier because the Xian Tian College that you finished your diploma in 2023 actually based on the NEIGONG approach. So you had a lot of skill with needles, I guess, by the time you finished the school, which gives
Finish
you,
Xian Tian, you mean?
yeah, Xian Tian.
Well, yeah, for sure, I had much more skill than before. I mean, it's really a privilege, or it was a big privilege to train with Damo and Kirsty and Linda, of course, also. But Damo is really a masterful acupuncturist,
Yeah,
so I
we can
learned so much
imagine.
from him. Yeah, you're studying there now as well, right?
Yeah, I'm in the third cohort, but unfortunately, Demo is not teaching us personally.
Mm-hmm.
Still, Linda and Kirsty showing us all that we need to know now.
Yeah, I mean they are really good as well, so you
It's
you
such a
won't be missing
smart
out.
system. It's like don't overflood you with information. It's just breaking down that is digestible and then put another layer on, and then. as far as I see, this is how we progress at the moment. Actually, we will have a final second year exam soon in end of June.
Okay.
Point
Cool.
locations and indications and the point names and the all the behind theory that we had so far.
Okay. And when are you supposed to finish?
We will have one more year.
Okay, good.
Starts in September and then probably somewhere next year, June, July, we will see.
And how much of this has been like repetition for you in shiatsu? Because that's something like is there some
That's an interesting topic.
parallels?
Yes, that's an interesting topic because yeah, I just start to see the differences. I just start to see how different we learned about Chinese medicine throughout the Shiatsu course and how different we learn throughout like this Neigong approach and also Chinese medicine approach. That's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's enriching each other because it was 9 years ago when I started with Shiatsu. Pretty much actually the same time-wise as you, because in
Okay.
2016 I met Lotus Nei Gong, and 2015 I started the Shiatsu school. Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And my teacher
Great.
was really confident, and she said, actually, with your finger, you can do pretty much everything that a needle can do. No,
I'm sure if you're really skilled, maybe.
I'm not. I'm not. No, no, no. I'm not really skilled in Shiatsu. I I treated, I tried, I stayed with the basics because that was the reason I ended up with Neigong because I didn't went deeper into Shiatsu. I finished. I had my diploma, which was a 3 year or something, but I never went really to any other courses, postgraduate or anything. I went more to the Neigong to understand what is Qi because they talked about Qi, they talked about the channels, but in Shiatsu, I think there's not much time to really explore what Qi is, what
Mhm.
channels are, as much as we do in Neigong practice. So I had this gut feeling of I need some practice to understand if they talk about Qi, what they talk about. I don't know about you, but
Mm.
before Shiatsu, I remember maybe a couple of years before when someone showed me the meridians and everything, I said, this is bollocks. This is for sure. We don't have these kind of channels. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I was an athlete. I believed in hard work and everything, and I was no. And here I am.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the channels until you experience them, feel them, um, they it's pretty much based on faith, I guess.
Yeah, and I heard some Chinese medicine practitioners, they don't even believe in Qi.
Yeah, which is just hilarious.
Mm.
How can that be? Maybe
So,
it's the wrong medicine for them. No,
yeah, yeah, it's just strange. How can you do something that is based on the concept? I mean, not the concept, but the law and the energetics and everything of Qi and not
well,
believe.
maybe they have some other weird explanation
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
maybe the Western approach is that it's much more like nervous system and the fascia,
Hmm.
and they can prove. I've read a book actually that they can prove if you insert a needle somewhere and the corresponding area is reacting, the corresponding area becomes active. So maybe
Mm.
that's what's behind acupuncture, obviously.
Well, I mean, some points are more on a nervous system level, for sure, and some are more on a more subtle level, like on the way they work.
So actually, if
So
I
it's
understand
both.
well, you could explore the evolution of acupuncture by your path, yeah? Because the first time, maybe when you did your first diploma was like a Zen Buddhist practice, and then maybe that kind of approach, and then you studied NEIGONG. So maybe you are the perfect person to ask how exactly NEIGONG support your medicine, maybe vice versa. How do you think about these?
Well, the Neigong studies, like the theoretical studies, and also the practical, of course, because it gives you an experiential understanding. But like the theory of Neigong takes you, like way deeper, way deeper. Like the theories presented in Chinese medicine are just enough so you can understand the patterns and the mechanisms that you're working with, but it doesn't go like, maybe it's like when you study Chinese medicine, you look at the car, you understand the car from outside. It's like, okay, here's the ignition, here's the wheels, and there's the throttle and the brakes. But when you study Neigong, you're like looking inside the engine. It's like, oh, okay, that's how the throttle works, and that's okay. So like you can really see the behind mechanics so much deeper. So I mean, I don't know if it's really necessary.
Same here.
But it helps.
Interesting. Yeah, that's maybe
it
I would
gives
like you to explore that, because I
it
have the
gives me
same
more
conclusion.
depth. Like when I meet a patient and take in all their information from what they say and the pulse and the tongue, it lands, like all the information goes in and it ends up in all these different I don't know how to say it in
I see
English.
what you mean. Drawers, the different.
Yeah, the small drawers of, okay, there's that drawer, there's this drawer, but and I don't know how to explain this in English properly.
I think what you mean. You mean that Naigon gives you a deeper understanding of the person,
Yeah,
more
like
overall.
much broader, and it's a more wholesome, a more holistic, to use a used term.
Actually, now it's really helpful. I don't know how you just vocalize it, because you asked me before that how was the shiatsu, and now I think I understand something. So because Neigong started for me when shiatsu started, I was just there in the room doing pretty simple things, just stepping through, going through the channel, treating the channel, which means I never learned points really. I never worked with points too much more with the channel. So maybe it gave me room to be more simple and tune more into, this Naigongi stuff that you mentioned. So I was my head wasn't full with theory. So yeah, I treated for years without this kind of knowledge that we have. So maybe because I can relate a lot of things to what you said. I had impressions of the person which I didn't know where it comes from. I just knew, I just knew
Okay.
to treat, but I didn't know why. You see what I mean? It's not that I learned all the points and all the like the luo connections and then the she clef points and the stagnations or not stagnations. It was just much more simple. And at the same time, I practiced a lot of Neigong, like hours and hours of Neigong. Even though at the point I always did Neigong before a treatment or just prepared myself before a treatment. And I spent years like that.
Sounds good.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
What you just mentioned, that's I think that's major. And thank you for
I
vocalizing.
think just, I mean, it's also studying with Xian Tian, since it's a school with its roots in Neigong. It bridges those it bridges the Neigong and the
Yeah,
Chinese medicine really seamless, because you have and also just understanding how to work with the needle is just totally different from like if you have the Neigong as well,
yeah,
but you can actually make it work,
yeah.
which is pretty good. Because
Yeah, and I remember that all your cohort was full of Neigongers, like
yeah, it was.
Neigongers only,
uh, I mean, I'm trying to think of someone who wasn't, but I can't at the moment.
actually.
So maybe everyone was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Our cohort,
that was fun because, like, so maybe you've noticed there's a little spark going off the needles when you touch the channel in patients. It feels like a little
actually,
vortex or
actually,
something going off the needles.
I have seen those when I treated with shiatsu, like seen those
Ah, okay.
above the area I was treating, and when Demo mentioned these sparks,
Mm.
I was like, oh, this just got my eyes only, then it's something.
And it's kind of like treating non-practitioners, that field or that spark is kind of is very subtle, I would say. But when in the class with the with the Negongers, it was really like, oh, you get really good shock,
I
and
see.
it's because their dantians are active and everything is just fired up.
Much more juiced.
Yeah, much more chi and juice, and I mean,
Actually, that
no,
have been my question. That how is it to treat someone who is into Neigong and open the body up already? Maybe Dantian is active, channels are opened a little bit, or this way or that way, or this degree or that degree, compared to um, a person who is not practicing Neigong and not open the channels and not having this extra chi on. Because I was thinking, if let's say to treat something, you should leave the needle there for a certain amount of time. But I think that can change when somebody is much more active, much more malleable, much more reactive or adaptive. What's your take on
I
it?
don't have too much experience treating Neigongers, but outside the Shantian studies, because patients who come to me are not practitioners.
Yeah.
But for sure, I mean, I can imagine if your chi is strong, you will get stronger results.
But also if the person is trained, that's a different case.
The patient, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure, because often patients who I see who are very deficient, I often feel I need to build them up a little bit
Hmm.
so that I have more chi to work with.
I see.
Because treating a deficient channel isn't very useful.
Oh, absolutely.
So I usually have to spend some time, a few treatments, just building their chi up a little bit to then be able to focus in on like the main issue. If the issue isn't chi deficiency, which is usually
Yeah, yeah.
is in some way, but
I see.
uh,
Yeah, totally. I see what you mean. Because
mm,
my tuna teacher in Hungary also says the same. It's a different background, but he says the same. It's actually when he says like treat someone with tuna first, like bring the chi up. That's his expression.
mhm.
And once you brought the chi up, much more efficient to treat a point or open a point or whatever, moxa or cupping or
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, because you're working with chi, and if there's more chi, there's more to work with, I guess.
Yeah, much more effective.
I guess it's as simple as that.
But this is something that should be also said that obviously we have channel theory and everything, and also in shiatsu that you can go through a channel and tap on it and then one finger pressure in. But if there's no chi in there, then it's not much effective, I think.
Sorry, what did you say? There's not much.
if there's no chi, actually, if there's no circulation, if there's no, yeah, if there's deficiency, and I can tap them as much as I want, not much will happen. Maybe a little bit of harmonization, a little bit of balance. Maybe I can stretch and open the joints, and move the blocks, but still the juice is not really there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know with shiatsu, but with needles, I really stay away from the deficient channels because the needles themselves have a slightly draining effect.
Yeah.
So I want there to be some amount of. I mean, there is always some chi, but there needs to be on a level where I can. I have a way of taking notes when I do the pulse, like a 1 to 5 system, where in my notes for the patients. So I have a below a certain number, I don't needle it.
I see.
I need to fill it up on other ways.
And also, I guess certain points even more sensitive when it's deficient, like the channel is deficient, and certain points on the channel are much more, yeah, really avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm always very cautious about the kidneys and the kidney channel, so that I really stay away from. I'm much more cautious about the kidney channel.
Why the kidney?
Because it's the foundation for health in the rest of the body as well. So if I accidentally drain the kidneys, it would not be good.
Oh, and can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. How? How is that?
Well, just if the channel is too weak to be needled, like if the kidney pulse is weak and I like too weak, and I needle it. I mean, for some patients, it's enough with 1 point, maybe, or like 2 needles per 1 point in a weak channel, and they can be
Drained.
wiped out.
Wow.
I don't know if that's the case if you're just needling it TCM wise, like if you're not connecting with the needle, not
You
not
mean
doing
you're not activating with the chi and
yeah, if you're not using the proper tonification and stuff. I don't know. Maybe
Oh, I see what you mean. You mean maybe there's no risk if your treatment is not that juicy, if it's not
maybe
juiced up. Yeah, okay, I see.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's a less effect, so it's a less draining effect.
I think so. I mean, I would guess so.
Mm.
And yeah, so I try to really be cautious with the kidney channel, but also it's difficult because some people are just super sensitive.
Yeah.
So like maybe 3 needles is just
That's
their
enough.
absolute maximum for whole treatment.
Yeah. You mean it's because their system cannot handle more impact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can be really drained for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the kidneys. It could be anything. Huh?
This is what we have been warned about by my tuina teacher, that scale yourself, like really watch the person that you have at the lying on the bed and really just see how much the system can take. Because if you overload the system, then you have a much worse effect.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It can also be damaging. But yeah, so I think
more always.
I have a good structure, pretty good structure for that, because the first time I meet the patients, the treatment is 1.5 hours. And it's usually 1 hour of just talking, getting to know the person, and taking the pulse and the tongue as well.
Same here.
And then it's like 30 minutes of treatment.
Yeah.
And in this time, I don't have more time than one layer. I call it a layer. Like usually in 1 hour treatment, I have 2 layers. So I put needles in, few needles in, let them do their job, take them out, and put another set of needles.
That's interesting, actually. Thank you for sharing that.
So that's 2 layers. And the first time I meet the patients, I only have time for 1 layer. So I can't really put a lot of needles in. And the next time I see them, I will know, because I will talk to them how to experience the time after the last treatment and all this. And then if all was good, like, yeah, I felt good. Maybe a little bit tired after in the evening, which is normal and fine. But if they say, oh, I was just out for 2 days,
then something.
Then I know that, okay, I need to take it easy with this person. I can't. I need to like take the amount of needles down a little bit, so they can function well.
You keep mentioning pretty solid and really important like pointers or milestones right here that just give time for change, no?
Yeah.
That's what people don't really take serious enough to take time for change. I just heard you could be knocked out for 2 days if that's really something is changing. And maybe this is where our NEIGONG practice and studies come in, right? Because we understood so much. I don't know about you, maybe you will share, but myself, I've gone through a big block of training of NEIGONG when seemingly nothing happened, but suddenly something hit, maybe mentally, physically, or sometimes somehow the soul is shaken, and then you find yourself in a pretty miserable situation. And the first time you think, oh, what's wrong? And then you realize this is a part of the process, because if nothing else, we learned once you lose the sense of self, which comes with change, right? So you lose the sense of self, that is like a grief or something that you go through a sad period of time. You just don't know why. But as you keep practicing, you will understand, same. It's the same thing. Don't believe it. It's just How about you? How about you? Do you experience it the same way, or?
Yeah, sure. If I understand you correctly, like how changes kind of affect you. So yeah, I mean, for sure there can be some clinging. Like if there's a big shift, there can be some the mind, or I don't know what's parts of the mind we can freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Initially, it's like, oh shit, what's this? This is new. Is this? Maybe I should go back to the old, or
the old version.
Yeah. So, but that's normal and
normal for you.
Something to ignore.
But please talk about this, because what I see also with NEIGONG practitioners is a certain resistance. Did you see that?
Resistance in what way?
Resistance, like there's a certain resistance when, for example, when we work with song and try to understand song and try to understand breathing, and I started to notice certain people come up with the excuses or explanations, or like a layer of resistance that I'm like this because, or I'm like that because.
Okay.
But hold on. So maybe that's the stage. That's the first stage that you have broken through so many times. It's familiar to you. You says it's normal, but for them, it can be maybe scary.
Yeah, self-exploration is I don't know. Yeah, sometimes maybe scary. I don't know. Maybe not. I wouldn't use the word scary, but can be uncomfortable.
Or that uncomfortable, actually.
But it's a good uncomfortable, I think, to be in.
But you are trained, so you think it's good, but
yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess there's a level of faith that develops, that makes it easier to be in that uncomfortable space of
And
change.
what was it for you that developed this faith? If I can ask this kind of, because I think this is useful for others to know.
I don't know if I can point to one thing, but
It's just a deep faith you had from the beginning.
actually, yeah, I think I was a bit lucky on that part. Because, like I said, I had an initial experience in my late teens that put me on the Zen path.
Is it
Uh,
something that I can ask about, or you would keep
uh,
personal?
it's just some insight to the nature of self, you can say.
Oh, wait a minute. Where were we? Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, some whatever depth insight into the self.
Oh yeah, the grief and the
Yeah,
loss of sense of self, because it's I think it's connected to medicine also,
yeah,
because
and the faith we were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah, the faith.
and I think so. From that point, I had had like absolute faith in the meditation path somehow.
Oh, the experience in your teens.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I came into this uh, with lots of faith, and it's just hasn't left me. So
It's just
and
unfolded
also,
for
I
you,
mean, say again.
and it's just unfolded for you.
Yeah. So that's something I've had for free. I think I haven't had to work for that.
I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe I'm not
meanwhile,
the
some
best
people.
person to ask about that,
Oh
actually.
no, it's okay. It's good to know, because probably that's the same for me. Yeah, as you talk, I find a lot of similarities.
Oh yeah.
It was never a question also with Lotus Nei Gong, and also it was never a question before. I never stopped with anything else. I never stopped with any other teacher. I never stayed with any other, because I've seen a few, but I said, no, it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that. This is it.
Yeah. That was, I think, one of the
Same.
reasons I didn't go into any formal Zen Buddhist study was because I didn't trust authorities, didn't trust teachers I met,
Yeah.
like really trust in their skill and knowledge. Um, so yeah, but when I met Damo, I was like, ah, finally. It
This is
was
it.
just easy to just, okay, good. Here's someone who knows from true experience and true exploration and practice.
And this was in the Swedish QGC.
Yeah, I joined them, like I said, I
Oh,
joined them about the QGC 6 months late. Um, uh, and that was a whooshing training for that
oh,
weekend.
washing,
Yeah,
my favorite.
it was funny because I remember it was me and my wife, Christina, who went there. It was in Gothenburg. And I remember going in the car there. I was like, I was talking down on the Kundalini yoga, which I had tried sometime. I was like, ah, it's so annoying. Like you have to sit like this for so long. It's so strenuous. I was really lazy and like I didn't like the uncomfortable positions.
Oh, and
And
there
then
you
going
go.
into Neigong with
There
Demo,
you go.
like, would you? Like, oh shit, is this gonna end? When is this gonna end? But yeah, it was a super uncomfortable weekend because I was really my body was really weak and like my mind, I guess, was kind of weak as well.
All over the
But
place. Huh?
I my faith was like after that weekend I had a really strong faith in that tradition and a good faith in Damo as a teacher as well. Because yeah, we talked about the channels because that was the first time I experienced the channels. I could feel the channels. I remember feeling the pericardium channel and the points kind of lit up during that training. So I was
Wow.
like, oh, okay, so maybe there's something to this training. I
That's
think
a
I'll stick
pretty
around.
good food for your faith, I think.
Yeah, it was a good start for that.
Imagine I never felt anything for 2 years.
Well, after that, there was pretty much nothing
Yeah.
to do as well. So it took a long time for me to build up some strength because I was
Yeah.
quite deficient. I was really, really blood deficient
Oh, wow.
and also chi deficient and I don't know, kidney deficient.
Every deficient.
Everything pretty much. So it took a lot of time to build up to a level where the chi become palpable, I guess, like
Yeah,
thick
yeah.
enough to
Yeah.
affect the body and uh, yeah.
Yeah, these topics that you mentioned, I think it's also crucial because okay, let's break it down. Like some people are super sensitive. So whatever they do, the smallest movement will create a lot of feeling inside, and they're like, yeah, I completely feel what's going on. And then another end of the scale where the bricks are, they can't feel anything from hours and hours of training. And people are like somewhere in between also. And um, like maybe the sensitive ones, it's much more easy to say, oh, I experienced chi, but maybe it's also easy to get into trap that, oh, that's not chi really, or is it?
Mhm.
So as you said, you needed time to build up and get stronger, or probably build up chi as well, so be able to be sure that you actually can listen to chi, yeah,
Mhm.
and not confused into some nervous system phenomena. How's
Yeah, and there are different
how's your thoughts about it?
layers of chi and levels of chi as well. Because I
Yeah.
could, for some reason, uh, well, I did Tai Chi training for 7 years alongside the zazen, the Zen training.
Oh, you did that before. Good.
But it was like low level Tai Chi. It wasn't demo level or anything. It wasn't.
Hmm.
But I think somehow my Lao Gong was developed there.
Hmm.
Because even like way before, like also in the beginning there, I could still connect with the inside
Yeah.
somehow. Well, like the small normal amount of yin chi that we all have
Yeah, yeah.
because we're alive, that I could
That's
connect with.
pretty good.
So, but that's like a tiny bit. Like what we have normally to function is tiny compared to what we are like compared to the potential of our energetic system, like
Yeah.
as you know from training.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So, and what's the point?
I don't know. I'm just rambling.
Rambling. Oh, okay, yeah. I will
No,
try to throw
we
questions at you, yeah?
uh,
Well, like when you finished QGC, did you start teaching right off or
no, no, I
spend
didn't. I didn't feel competent enough.
okay.
No,
And then when did
I,
you and do you still teach or because I knew that you had some courses and some weekly classes.
yeah,
It's still
yeah.
on
Me and my
or
wife Christina, we have been teaching here in the north of Gothenburg for a few years. It's been on and off because we've been busy.
yeah.
And now it's been an off period, but
Okay. Yeah, that's what I guessed because I haven't seen anything, but
yeah. But I am, or we are in the stage of planning
yeah. Yeah, I heard.
for after the
I
summer.
remember last year. I remember we talked. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So after the summer, we will have
A new
something
chapter.
going on. It would probably, or maybe it will be for both beginners, like set up a new group, and also to bring in the people who has been training with us for a
Yeah,
while
totally.
to take them.
But that's always a good that's a good idea to build foundation deeper.
Yeah, sure, you can do that for years.
And also for you as a teacher, I guess, to understand what is foundation really,
Hmm.
what to teach, how to teach to the group, newcomers, and then those who practice with you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the more I train, the better perspective I have on the foundations. And like you said, the relevance of this or that training or exercise. And
Yeah.
it's
Good luck with that.
thank you.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fun.
looking
And
forward.
I know you are very busy too, in different parts. You're in Italy as well, are you? No?
Yeah, not now, but maybe from September.
Yeah,
Yeah, in Rome,
in
and
Rome. Yeah.
I'm just heading to Vienna this weekend.
Oh yeah, Vienna as well.
Yeah, it's basically Vienna and Budapest,
Yeah. Hmm. Cool.
switching the locations, but trying to organize that none of them are the same. So if someone visits Budapest, they could have a different aspect of Neigong, and then we go back to Vienna, then continue with something else, and then also year by year. So actually, last May we had the dragons, and this year May we have the dragons in Vienna also.
Okay.
The different part of dragons and then different aspects, and you know this.
Hmm. The dragons they're fun to do, difficult to teach.
Oh yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
my story actually with the Lotus Nei Gong is started with the dragons and with the book. Believe it or not, winter of 2015, I received the book. That was my very first book from Damo,
Okay.
the dragons. And then, as you know, just an ex professional triathlete, I stopped my training and I head first into this.
Oh, really?
Same mentality. And yeah, like 2 times 2 hours or something like that every day,
Oh,
just
wow.
trying to figure out the movements from the book.
Oh, that's how was that?
That's challenging.
I mean, comparing like when you met the teacher first time, how was that?
Actually,
How close did you get from the book?
Demo had a really short recap of the four dragons uploaded on YouTube. Back
Uh,
in those days, he had maybe 4 or 8 videos total. But I really like those videos. I'm really sad that they are deleted, but I really like those. And then from the book and from that video, I started to understand the movements and then the details. And I remember didn't really understand from this posture, how do I get to that one? And
oh yeah.
but actually I craved this into my system so much. It took me months to every day try, and then the little details to see, and then look in the book, and then look the video, and then someone was kind enough to give me the DVD.
Oh yeah, yeah, we have that as well, the DVD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about the dragons, and oh, that was treasure. That was treasure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so much. I understand now the turns and the finish and the
Uh-huh.
opening, but still, it took me maybe 2 years, and that's when I've been taught personally. I think second year or third year or so. But I got sick. Winter time, dragon dines, not a good idea.
Mm.
I got really sick,
Okay.
like 2 months sickness.
Because it's too much out, you think?
Yeah, I just imagine I open myself too much, like
Mm.
2 times 2 hours a day or something.
Hmm.
Had to wear gloves and everything because it was December or January or
Oh, it
something.
was outside.
Outside, I did outside.
Okay.
No one told me not to, so and also a little bit stubborn,
Oh well.
a little bit
The,
enthusiastic.
doing all mistakes is part of the training as well.
Yeah, yeah. So now straight away I tell practitioners don't do this in this time.
It's better to conserve the chi a little bit
Oh yeah,
in winter time.
absolutely. Yeah, that was a big mistake. But I loved every minute of it, to be honest.
Mhm.
And yeah, still, it's good.
It's a good mentality, like the sports mentality, the
Good. Who
athlete
knows? Who
mentality is a
knows?
good like.
Who knows if it's good?
Well,
Uh, it
you
has
get somewhere.
pros and cons, I think. I obviously I stepped a lot back by NEIGONG. I understand a lot of things.
Uh,
2016, Sweden, I was standing in Wuji, as you just mentioned, as you came to your first QGC course. I was standing there. Demo left us there for 2 hours. And I was like, did I really stop triathlon for this? Did I really
what
hang?
have I gotten myself into?
And then all this pain again, and uh, and I was really frustrated. As the same things as you mentioned, because my mind was everywhere. People around me were crazy. Also, they were highly attained. I think they really understood what they do, and I was just
Mhm.
standing in there and oh shit, please give me a match and some oil so I can burn myself.
Yeah, it can that frustration can really build in Wuji in the beginning. I've been there myself for sure.
Yeah, but actually the Swedish guys helped, like Ola and the other guys, Matthias, and they helped with the funny talk, if you remember. Maybe we are
I
not
mean,
to
there's
talk about it.
so much silliness going on those trainings for all the spontaneous stuff.
Yeah, but they helped me. They helped my heart. They helped
Yeah,
my mind. So I just when I laughed it off, it
it's
was
the comic relief.
yeah,
It's an important part, and I think it comes easy in this training because it's hard. I think. I don't know. I
what
think
do you
it's
mean? What do you mean comes easy?
the humor in the training. Well, I find at least that it's when you're practicing with others, it's the humor comes quite naturally because it's such a hard training.
Yeah, but also I think it depends on the teacher.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the teacher creates the atmosphere, and
I guess.
luckily, Demo created us the atmosphere, and also the other seniors created this atmosphere of laughter rather than seriousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the training is serious enough as it is.
It's such a
So,
tricky balance. I find now thinking back, then
yeah.
it was a mastery of like the heartfelt laughter from others. Meanwhile, you have your war inside and you have your own
Yeah.
struggle.
And the sweat is just,
Yeah, the burning feet
yeah.
and the melting muscles and everything.
Yeah. And the
So,
tight diaphragm.
oh, the diaphragm. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk.
the diaphragm.
That's your favorite topic, I think.
It is a topic, isn't it? Yeah.
How is it? How is it? How's your diaphragm?
My diaphragm is pretty good now.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Uh, I find my way.
Oh,
I
you
found
still
my
you
way
still
finally.
use your technique and that method that you showed
Yeah, I
us.
think I told you about the blood deficiency, I think.
Mhm.
Like, so I was eating vegetarian and vegan food for 18 years, which was not good for me. It was good for the animals, very good for the animals,
But not good for you.
but not good for me. So it developed quite a serious blood deficiency, and one of the results was a tight diaphragm.
Yeah.
Like that was at least one of the big ingredients.
Oh, so good you mentioned because I've met a shiatsu teacher and he emphasized that actually diaphragm is closely connected to blood and there's a good
And the
understanding.
liver.
Of course, with the liver, but also some other things he mentioned. But it's
Yeah. I
continue.
mean, the blood in the liver is. If you have a problem with the liver, you have a problem with the blood usually,
Yeah.
or eventually at least.
And you think from the liver it spreads on the diaphragm and creates problem, or how is the?
I guess it. I guess it can go both ways. I mean, you could probably get problems with the diaphragm from lung issues, I guess, as
Yeah.
well, or stomach things. But it's all connected anyway, so it will influence the liver because that's its area. It's a dominant. It's dominant in that area.
And was the
Uh,
diaphragm treated for you, or you just tried to resolve the problem on your own? So, or someone treated you specifically for the diaphragm?
no, I haven't gone to anyone, I think, for that. Maybe I have.
You just figure it
Uh,
out for yourself, like let's enrich the blood, nourish the blood, and also work on the diaphragm.
yeah, well, it was a long process of getting to know myself and my situation and what's up. So, I mean,
Yeah, obviously first you didn't have the answer. You were like, oh, what's wrong?
yeah, yeah, because I was sitting, I was doing zazen every day. I was, of course, noticing that shit, my breathing is really, really shallow. But uh, my approach then was to just uh, not do anything, not not trying to breathe deeper, just
Yeah,
allowing it to be as it is. I mean, maybe for other people that would have actually released the diaphragm to
yeah,
somewhat, but since the stuckness in my case was also based on the blood deficiency,
yeah,
and I wasn't taking care of that.
yeah,
So it was uh, like I couldn't do only the mental. Maybe I could if I had been really, really, really song, really,
yeah,
really into the body. Maybe it could have melted
yeah,
somehow
yeah.
just from
Oh,
mentally
that's
relaxing.
difficult. Yeah.
But I had to go to fix my diet
Mm.
basically first, and the Neigong helped me with that
Hmm.
because the Neigong training, as you might know, takes you to a point where it's like, okay, you can come here, but if your overall health doesn't improve, you won't get further.
Yeah.
So then, okay, first I was like, physical health, need to fix this, okay, fix that, and you can go here. And then, so the Neigong training took me to a place where, okay, I cannot go further if I don't fix my diet. So I needed to start eating meat basically. And that just took my overall health to like a whole nother level instantly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And then
strange.
then it was a few years of eating meat before uh, deeper stuff started to change.
Mm.
Uh,
So you mean you needed actually a lot of years to reflect,
yeah,
although it had an instant effect, but you needed quite a few years to get.
yeah, yes, yeah. I mean the diet should not be underestimated, I think, and so on a shallow level, I guess, my immune system went up 50% at least instantly. Like before that, I could have just the slightest wind on the back of my head, and I would get a tension headache,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, stuff like this.
It's
So that went
familiar. It's
away
familiar to
instantly.
me.
Huh?
It's familiar to me. I understand
Yeah.
you.
So first thing, I got lots more energy. I gained 2 more kilos just instantly, and things like this. But then, like really building blood takes time.
Yeah.
Takes, I guess, depending on how deficient you've been, and also the support of the other organ system as well.
Do you also mean that you talk about a situation where actually the sickness, if you can call it sickness, just touched the blood level? because some people talk about, like nutrition level, body level, blood level, maybe chi level, or the marrow level. So is
Yeah, I
it
guess.
so that it was like such a long-term deficiency maybe that it became a blood level issue?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. It was kind of deep. Because when you have a deficiency, whatever the deficiency, other systems will try to back up, like support that system.
Yeah.
So you will develop secondary or further deficiencies
Yeah, yeah.
from the initial, and it was all based on diet for me.
Mhm.
Well, mostly diet anyway. So anyway, after fixing the diet, it was much easier to work with the diaphragm.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. And what
It
happened?
started to soften a little bit,
Ah, okay.
and I started to be able to release it more. And the Nei Gong helped a lot with that, of course. Um,
Is it then maybe the tension of the organs kept your diaphragm also in a certain tension? So once the organs could like release and relieve from the nutritions and everything, that your diaphragm could
yeah,
open.
and the lubrication from the blood,
Ah, okay.
I
Oh, so
think.
you felt yourself a little bit dry compared to now.
Oh well, I don't know if I was like I had all the blood deficient symptoms except for insomnia. I think I had
Yeah, yeah.
everything else. But no, I mean when the blood builds, the lubrications gets better,
Yeah.
and I had to go really deep to touch the diaphragm, I guess. But
Okay. And that's where your technique came in, like the physical stretch and also probably your practice itself.
yes,
That's how you built up
so
your.
yeah, a few different stretches helped because I mean this is unscientific, but it was my experience that it was like the fascia had really got stuck in that position because it's been like that for so long,
Yeah,
maybe 20 years, who knows, stuck there more or less. So I had to physically, and this is only my experience, tear it open again.
yeah,
So I used quite strong stretches, forceful stretches to just whack, open that area up in the lower ribs area to just expand it, like really just tear it open.
nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And
And then I
yeah,
guess
so
once you open them, that's when you integrated them into your probably breathing practices or Qigong practices or.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it was while I was practicing, so it was integrated. But the next step and the after the physical stuff is finished, then the realization is, oh yeah, so now the diaphragm is like malleable or movable, I guess. But then the problem isn't really the body anymore. Now it's
The
the
mind.
mind and the chi.
That's fascinating.
So then the next level of expansion was okay. So the problem is no longer the body. It's not the diaphragm that needs to relax. It's me. I need to relax more. Uh, when I'm in the body, I need to just be able to release myself
Yeah,
deeper and more. And that really started to release it
nice,
and to get the chi to sink.
nice.
But
Thank you very much to be so open with it. 'Cause,
I don't mind.
probably this will help a lot of us who didn't explore maybe breathing enough or didn't explore the diaphragm enough or didn't explore these relations that you just mentioned with the diet,
Mhm.
with the stretches, and then also with your mindset. I think that's brilliant. And
Yeah, I think it really needs to be a two-part solution, a physical and a physical study and a study of the self, and the habits of the mind, I think.
Yeah, this is where I mentioned the resistance. So maybe if you remember how you were, as far as I can remember, I can tap on the resistance I have. So obviously I'm at the threshold of, yeah, just let go. But there's a resistance of maybe the self-awareness, or maybe how I pictured myself before, or what was comfortable before, and it's now changing. So maybe there's a resistance. Oh, should I really be open? Yeah.
Mm. I guess if you do that enough, this faith will build, and you'll just
Yeah, I will come.
go for it.
Totally.
But I mean, since the self is so tightly intertwined with the breathing, it needs exploring. The subtle habits of the mind, for me, was holding up, and still I need to remind myself, not hold up,
Yeah.
release.
You
And
think
then
it was a kind of an alertness, or a kind of yeah, alertness just to be ready for whatever it is? Or was it something else? Why you, as you said, you kept yourself up instead of
it was probably based in some fear.
Mhm.
I would think probably based in some fear.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't matter what's the root. I just mean that something you cling to, maybe that's why you hold yourself up. Like, oh yeah, don't hurt me, or I'm alert, or
Mm.
yeah, who knows.
Yeah, whatever it was,
Gone.
holding up, it turned into a habit of the mind and body.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, today, I had a client, and we worked on her neck. And obviously she has a respectful life, like 70 years, a lot of things might have happened and everything. And actually she hold her head in the air, lying on her back, when I asked to relax.
Oh
So
yeah.
on there, and it was such a humbling moment to understand that some people might have gone through a lot of things. They never knew how to let them go. So just built in the body, and built in also the mentality, as you said, became a habit. And that's, in one way such a humbling, but in another way such a kind of a sacred moment to experience, and be
Mm.
able to step back and just see without judging that, oh my God, this is the mechanism of the human system. That
Mm.
actually we can forget that we have these kind of tensions in the neck. Until
Yeah.
the point she couldn't really turn the head to the sides, just look straight.
Mm.
And then today, as we worked, and just playfully showed how to relax a muscle, and then give a memory. You see, give a memory. How is it when it's not tight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How is it when it's relaxed? And I said, homework is just take it home, have this memory, bring it back, and try to just for just a few minutes, just to relax the muscles. Man, this is, and probably as you spent a lot of time introspectively listening inside, you are much more aware of it, like the tiny compartments of the mental, like the fragmentations. Yeah, they're like tight here, tight there. You can differentiate between them, where they come from, what they do, but usually people are not aware of these.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everyone has their blind spots as well. In some areas where we have looked.
Probably we have a lot of blind spots, I think.
Say again?
Probably we have a lot of blind spots.
Oh, guaranteed.
It's amazing.
What's
We are like a puppet. So
I'm I'm counting on it. I'm counting on there being lots of blind spots, and I mean, because things can we can get blind just because it's habit, right? If it's something new, we will notice it.
Yeah.
But the habits are sneaky because they just go past us.
The radar.
So automatic, all these automatic responses we have.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Do you think maybe this is the reason why, as you get older, you get more reactive and more responsive on new impacts, which may be like you have your cup almost full, and then someone just put one more drop in, because your system stores everything before, and then something similar comes, like just one drop, and you are so reactive, angry, and stop this nonsense. It's just because of the baggage.
Sure.
Not really the phenomena.
Yeah, sure.
This is fascinating, I think, that we can get rid of these with NEIGONG, yeah?
Yeah, I
Can we?
guess. I hope so. But or just accept them, and I guess they will just get what's it called?
Get used to?
No,
Let them pass.
yeah, I guess they will lose their strength naturally from acceptance eventually, or just be transformed.
Maybe because you don't react anymore, yeah? So once you don't react, it's just let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. I think this is fair and enough.
Yeah.
And if you have anything in mind that you would like to discuss, or you think it was a pleasant time.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to go deeper with the medicine talk.
Yeah.
At some point.
I'm up for it. I can write up some pointers.
Because I don't know much about shiatsu, and it would be interesting to compare.
Okay.
Your clinical experiences.
Oh, my clinical experience are really thin.
Well, you're an inquisitive mind. I think you have a lot.
I think, just close it, and maybe the next time we can open it up. But I think the difference that shiatsu gives you the opportunity to bring the patient into a different mind state, a different consciousness. Because you act so gently around, you listen to your touch in and out, the rhythm of it. You can have a harmony and then keep everything quiet so the other person can release and relax more. Meanwhile, maybe the needle's in and just let them relax on their own it's a different approach. I think they would help each other also. So maybe a little shiatsu and some needles, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next time, yeah?
Next time. Looking forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I will see you this summer in Sweden.
See you really soon, actually. That's it's a month almost.
It is, yeah, it is actually. It's just around the corner.